Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Shamar Nayah here again today, coming to you with another lesson. And basically going into how everybody is they're tired of these Edomites. They're tired of the way that these Edomites have set up the society to be ran. And ultimately, everybody is coming to the realization that that the one is that is caused all this is no other than Esau Edom, which is a so-called white man. So I'm gonna play this video and get a couple of the scriptures and then continue the lesson, and I hope this lesson is edifying, Lord's willing. So without further ado,
we become here. This is what have we become here? This isn't us. How did we let this happen?
This is who we've always been. This country has never been great for everybody. It was designed to benefit white people, specifically 21-year-old land-owning white men. Period. Hard stop. And every demographic or gender outside of that has had to fight against the white man just to be equal.
You see, and again, he brought a great point. You feel me? A lot of people. This society was built only to benefit, the so-called white man, which is why they have sayings, if I'm stating it correctly, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But what they they do realize this because they know, but everything that they got, all this generational wealth and everything, they got it by, unrighteous means, by taking land from the natives or taking from Jake. But then again, they walk proudly as if they got it in the how can I say this, in a righteous way or in a lawful way. You see?
Go back to the Middle Passage. 1.4 million black people died on ships. Segregation, Jim Crow, women's suffrage movement, Asians in internment camps. We murdered millions of Native Americans who just took their land. We started a war with Mexico and took that land. We took the land from King Kamehameha in Hawaii. All we've done as a white people, we're like locusts. We take and we take and we take and we take. That's what you're seeing right now. A white man taking Venezuela. A white man taking Greenland. A white man probably going after Colombia. Let's be real. Today is the 5th year of January 6th. A white man lied about an election because he didn't like the results. White people went to the U.S. Capitol and beat officers. 5 of them died after that day. 4 from PTSD, and Officer Sitnick died from his injuries the following day. Many officers had heart attacks, crushed vertebrae, PTSD. The entire world saw it. And this country said, yep, that's the guy I want back in power. The rapist, the child molester, the convicted felon, the pedophile, the man who cheats on his wife with the porn star, the guy who asked for the execution of 5 black men, grabbed women by the pussy, grabbed them by the blah, 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 calling women piggy, calling them fat, calling them ugly, telling 30,000 lies, having dinner with Nick Fuentes. And white people in a majority went to the booth and said, this is really hard. It's either that, the guy that talks about Hannibal Lecter and electric sharks and how windmills cause cancer, who stares at the sun without sunglasses, or the black woman, the most qualified candidate in the history of our country. And this country voted like it always does. for the most morally bankrupt, unqualified white man just because he's white. And we still today refuse to have the difficult conversation that part of this country was triggered by a black man in the White House instead of out in the fields picking their cotton. So they went back to the plantation owner, what they know. They would rather burn this country to the ground than thrive under a black woman. And white people are walking around like, this isn't who we are. Yeah, it's who we've always been. White privilege.
And he's right. That this is who Esau Edom has always been. From the beginning, they've been a murdering, lying, conniving type of living organism. It's embedded in their their DNA. This is who they are. So like you. But when you bring out this information to Edomites, they're quick to try to change the topic of conversation, or try to make it seem like just because it was hundreds of years ago that it's not relevant to today. and yes, it is. It's very much so relevant to today. But that's what that's what they do. When you bring the history and information of the things that they've done for centuries out, they try to move the goalposts, which is why they try to make it seem like, again, the so-called blacks, Southern Kingdom Jake, are the most violent in the world, but ultimately everybody knows it's the so-called white man.
Privilege has kept you safe from it, has shielded it from you. And even now, while immigrants are being mistreated, good people that work hard, that bust their ass, that are good people, that love this country more than MAGA does, actual patriots that love this country. We're watching women getting dragged through the snow with one arm, losing their pregnancies. We got immigrants in concentration camps losing their lives, getting one meal a day, 2 showers a week. Over 200 U.S. citizens have been arrested because they're racially profiling people. And we're just sitting around, well, I don't want to talk politics because I don't want to upset a friend. And we're doing what we've always done as white people. Going right back into our privilege because it doesn't affect me. And you think that somehow, because you participated in a No Kings protest in April, July, and October on a Saturday outside of working hours, that you deserve a participation trophy because you did something. And you woke up and you made signs and you high-fived and you went to watch Netflix, or you went to a baseball game, or you went to a football game. And what did you do? Did you go on a general strike? Oh no, I can't do that. I can't afford to. That's too uncomfortable. Have you stopped paying taxes? Oh no, that's too uncomfortable. Have you posted on social media? Oh no, I don't want to affect work. I don't want to upset Uncle Bob because he might talk to me during Christmas. Did you stop spending on Black Friday? No, I can't do that. I need the discounts for Christmas. What are you willing to do? Because I haven't seen enough people that look like me willing to be uncomfortable.
And they're not going to be uncomfortable. You see, yeah, and another point I want to add on is this is why they were so upset. This, if I recall, it was one tweet of a white woman saying, "Can we go back to the regular police brutality?" Like, what the fuck does that mean? And as you've seen, as when times are getting harder for these so-called Edomites, for the so-called white man, which are the Edomites, they want to try to push a narrative that everybody needs to come together. But no, it really fucked that, bro. Because for decades y'all been oppressing Jake, but now that the curse is about to flip on you and your society and your kingdom is falling, now you want to try to come together. But it's too late for that, You Edomites are being exposed, and your kingdom is about to fall. So the first precept I'm gonna bring out is Micah 2. This is Micah 2 and 1, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." And this is how, Esau, Edom, they move. They devise iniquity. Because again, they do these things in this world, making unrighteous decrees, coming after Jake. It's because, they have the power right now. And a precept to prove that, easy, certain one, easy one, Job 9 and 24. "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" And we'll get back to that point about covering the faces, because that goes into the iconoclasm that they did during the Renaissance period. But again, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, the so-called white men, which are biblically the Edomites. They're ruling this world right now. They're in power. You see, verse 2. "They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage." And as the man in the video stated, that this is how they got their land and all their generational wealth, by unrighteous actions, by violence. Again, he mentioned that the slaughtering of the Gadites, the transatlantic slave trade, and Jim Crow, and the violence against the Southern Kingdom Jake. Not to mention what they did to everybody else. So this is how they got in their riches and their land. But in the same voice, have the nerve to try to make it seem like they, got it the good old American hard working way, and that's bullshit. But again, as I stated, when you bring this information out, they want to turn a blind eye and try to switch the narrative and move the goalposts. You see. But again, that ultimately goes back into, they're basically ashamed. Next precept I'm going to bring out is Job 30. And, I'll start at verse 1. This is Job 30 and 1, and it reads, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would not, I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. They dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, and in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they bray. Under the nettles they were gathered together. They were the children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth." And then basically this is talking about Esau Edom. The Esau Edom's history. They walk around proudly because they're empowered to rule right now. But again, we know that's soon to that's soon to come to an end. And like this is a person that is ruling the earth right now. Esau Edom he's not fit to rule the earth. This is why everybody's and the scripture says that the earth mourneth when the unrighteous ruleth. You see. Well, when the wicked rule, if I said roughly paraphrasing. Matter of fact, I need to get it right now. I don't want to butcher it. Proverbs 29 and 2. This is Proverbs 29 and 2, and it reads, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, and a lot of people are mourning right now. You see, a lot of people they're stressing about how they're going to make ends meet, bring food home to their families, pay their bills, because again the cost of living keeps increasing every year by year, and ultimately again the only person to blame for that is Esau Edom. You know, starting with the banking elites, the elites, the higher ups. Again, like I said before, they are not fit to rule. Um, Next precept I'm gonna bring out is Revelation 6:4, and it reads, "And there went out a horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth." And that's what they're doing right now. That's what they've been doing. As the person said in the video, that this is who Esau Edom is. You know, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And again, that horse that's being mentioned is talking about power. You know, and it being red, that red representing, you know, the Edomites. And Yahweh gave them this power to rule the earth. You know, that's why, again, like I stated before, they take peace from the earth, meaning that they will bring, you know, violence and bloodshed, disease, and more wicked things, you know. And it's mentioned in the sword, which we ultimately know that is Esau Edom's blessing. You know, again, like I stated, that they're quick to bring down that sword. Even if you comply with their request, or even if you deny, they're still going to bring down that sword. Next precept I want to bring out is Zechariah 11:4, and it reads, the Zechariah 11:4, and it reads, "Thus saith the Lord my power: feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." And this is talking about how Esau Edom, you know, held Jake captive, you know, and brutally murdered us, and then turn around and play victim like they haven't, you know, done anything wrong. And then when it mentions and their own shepherds pity them not, meaning, you know, this system Esau Edom has set up, where they you know, they hear the truth of what they've done. And another precept I can back this up is Habakkuk 2:12, and it reads, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity." And that's again, that this is Esau Edom's actions of how he got to the where he's at right now. Or another precept I want to bring out is to back this up is Revelation 18:5, and it reads, "For her sins have reached unto the heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities." So again, all the things that, you know, Esau Edom has done to the children of Israel, Yahweh Shemi Awashai, he sees that, you know, and as you know, I think last camp that the elders and the brothers were going into, you know, we only know a speck of what Esau Edom, you know, has done to us. Where it is, you know, the Lord, he sees everything, you know, so the Lord knows things that we don't know that Esau Edom has done to the children of Israel. You see. And again, they're going to have to pay for that. You know? So there's no escaping this judgment, Esau. And as you can see, the world is getting fatigued with you and your actions and your decrees. You see? You know, like I said, you know, the whole earth is sick and tired of these devils ruling. You know, they polluted everything, made the way of living hell upon the people. So much so, it started to affect, you know, the Lord Edomites. And Yahweh Shemi Awashai is about to, you know, destroy this kingdom. Going back to Job 24, No, so like, yeah, 9 and 24. God, yeah. To bring this out again, and it reads, "And the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" And this wicked is talking about, Esau, which is a so-called white man, and how they will rule, because we are under them now. Going back to Genesis 27, and because they are in power, they use these things like iconoclasm, But in the same breath, while they were painting over in the Renaissance era, painting over the images of how the true biblical figures look like, making them white skinned. In today's world, they'll go around and saying things like why the color of the skin doesn't matter, Just Esau being a fucking hypocrite, man. That's all it is. And another precept I can back this up is First Maccabees. Three and 48. Slovakia. This is First Maccabees 3 and 48, and it reads, "And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images." And again, that goes back into that iconoclasm that Esau Edom has done since coming back into power in a Renaissance era. They wanted to hide the truth from us, and this is why one of the reasons why Jake is is in the state that they're in. Let me see if I covered all bases. I can bring out any more precepts. I think the point is being made. So again, the judgment is coming to you, Esau Edom, and you can see rightfully so. The world is again mourning because these devils are in power, and even again, like I said earlier, you got other Edomites, which they could be Jake, confusion of face, coming to the realization of why the problems of the world are the way that there is. You see. So with that, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakodash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Shamar Nayah. I hope this lesson was edifying. To the next time, Shalom.